Police car. Holy shit. That's police car. Also. Holy shit. I just put my eyes down and then it happened.
As you just saw, a Calgary police vehicle was T-boned going west on 16th Avenue over the Deerfoot Trail Bridge. Now, people are debating who was at fault here. Looking on Google Earth, we can see that the speed limit for the ramp here is 50 kilometers per hour. Regardless, there is a big debate about who is at fault. As you can see, there are over 200 comments on the original post. Shout out to Mohammed for the dashcam footage. Before we look at the comments, let's see what is said on the Government of Alberta website. It says, where, considering the circumstances, it is reasonable and safe to do so, a person driving an emergency vehicle may, while the vehicle's siren is operating, do one or more of the following. And if you look at B, it says proceed past a traffic control signal indicating stop or stop sign without stopping. But I would note that it does mention at the beginning while the vehicle's siren is operating. And if you go back and watch the video, the lights of the police vehicle are on, but the audible siren is not on. So it's a bit of a gray area there. Now, let's go back to the Facebook post and look at some of the comments. David says, no sirens, police fault. An emergency vehicle with its siren on has the right of way over all other vehicles. Shane says, emergency vehicles need to ensure the intersection is clear when they don't have the right of way. They can't proceed blindly through a red light. Daibi says, technically the car, but emergency vehicles need to make sure it's safe before proceeding through intersections. Andy says, definitely the CPS car is at fault. You are expected to yield to emergency vehicles. However, the driver of the police vehicle has to wait for you to yield before proceeding. If you don't yield, he needs to be able to stop. At the speed it blew the red light, that amounts to careless driving. That said, my personal experience is the CPS will ticket the car driver for failing to yield to an emergency vehicle. Rick says, the white car is at fault. He was obviously not paying attention and we're supposed to yield to emergency vehicles. Sean says, the car. Normally I could sympathize with the car, but considering the multiple people stopped for a while on a green, pretty obvious they see something you don't. Perhaps you should check. Bryant says both of them are at fault. Cop ran a red light. White car was clearly distracted behind the wheel. Sean says 100% cop's fault. They still have to stop at the light and make sure they can proceed safely. Rick says all emergency vehicles must stop at all red lights before going through with the emergency lights. If they cause an accident because they ran through a red light, they are actually at fault. Tara says cop didn't slow down to make eye contact with drivers before proceeding. Number one for accident of emergency vehicles, seen a fire truck run a red 2, didn't even slow down, but it's still the other driver's fault. Tina says it's the car fault. The police had his lights on. So as you can see, people are quite divided on this particular video. Personally, I think the intersection light had just turned green for the car, so they weren't slowing down coming off the ramp. Their vision was partially blocked by the cars that were stopped on their left-hand side, and they didn't hear the sirens because the cop did not have the audible sirens on. But ultimately, the car will still be at fault because who's hitting a cop car and getting away with it? That just doesn't seem realistic. So that begs the question, who is actually at fault? We might never know that answer, but I'd like to hear your opinion. So please let me know in the comment section below who you think is at fault in this accident here. If you want to see more driving and dash cam videos from around Canada, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.